Okay, Jay. So how's your day so far?
Great, man. Great. Just got back from the gym. I'm all charged up, and we just got our script for the next episode. So, we're studying that, and yeah, just living the actor's life, I guess.
So this is you play Kai,
Yes.
which is the AI, an artificial. But did you have any behind the scenes involvement prior to season four?
Pride, no, I actually didn't really know about the show before season four. But yeah, my when I got the audition for it, and I looked into it, and I kind of was thrust into this whole new world of Twitch. I don't use Twitch that often, but then I started looking into the show before season four, and I'm like, this is something like really. I've never seen something like this before in my life. Like, especially in like the world of entertainment. Like, I feel like it's very. And then yeah, I met Bernie, and then he won the Emmy for season three, and it was insane. I was just getting introduced to this whole new crazy world, and yeah, he's an innovator for sure. And yeah, before this, I was totally not in this world, but now I'm totally invested in it, and I love being a part of it. Yeah.
So you do motion capture for Kai. What is
Mhm.
your history there? Like, how did that line up for you getting this particular role?
Well, to be honest, I've never done motion capture before artificial.
Really?
So yeah, yeah. I knew that it was going to be part of, I was informed about the role. Bernie told me about it, and he said, yeah, it's going to involve some motion capture elements. And lo and behold, I meet him for the first time. He's like, the entire show for you is going to be entirely motion capture. And I was like, oh, awesome, man. This is, but yeah, I love learning new things. And it was definitely, I have, first of all, I have so much respect for anybody who does motion capture acting. It is not as easy as it looks. Especially for us. I think we're doing a live show every week, and it was really, for me, it was kind of difficult to get down certain emotions of the character and have that read to the audience. And so it was like kind of like, I don't know, it was like kind of like relearning emotions for, like, if that makes any sense. Yeah,
Well,
for this
yeah,
character. Yeah.
definitely. And so for Kai, obviously you didn't know exactly what all the aspects of the AI were going to be until the audience pretty much figured them out for you or decided them for you. So what, like, as far as you personally versus Kai, what are the big differences between you and the AI? Like, what types of things does Kai the AI uh, embody that are not indicative of your own personality?
Well, I hope that I'm a little more humble than Kai, actually. And less cocky, I guess. Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, there are certain things that I do respect about his character. He's super calculated, super driven, and but yeah, I'm hoping that I'm a little less. I'm more humble than the character, a little more down to earth, I feel. But it's super fun playing this type of role. I get to kind of be this egomaniac in a sense. And but as as an actor, I feel like we all have egos that we have. We kind of try to keep underneath us, but it's fun to let it out sometimes. And Kai does let me do that. So yeah, the biggest thing would be, yeah, I do hope that the real people see me as the real Jay as a little more humble than Kai, if they're interested.
So now Ember is the other AI,
Yeah.
which is played by Emily Morales. Have
Yes.
you guys met? Do you guys do your motion capture together, or are you guys in different locations?
So when we do table reads all the time before the show, multiple table reads, and at that time I try to get a feel of, I like, for me, I love acting with other person in the same room, and I love interacting. Then that's, for me, that's the most fun part about acting. But for this, After the table read, when we're doing the whole actual tech rehearsals and if we go live, we're actually in separate spaces. And she's recently we changed our locations. Actually, we change locations every week almost. She'll be in another room sometimes. It's all just logistical reasons, I think. With the cables and stuff. I'm not a tech guy, so all the cable stuff, I guess. But yeah, we're I only see her through, well, the show, there's like three computer screens in front of me, and then I'll see the live feed, and that's where I'll see her emotions and how she reacts, I guess. And that's what I don't see her. I don't see her, the Emily, as the person. I just see her character Ember on the live feed, and yeah, it's a big like multitasking kind of thing. I'm looking at her, looking at myself, and then I'm also looking at. There's also a screen right in front of me. There's a phone that kind of captures all my facial emotions for the virtual character. So to make sure everything is kind. Yeah, it's a whole new territory, but yeah, I only see the feed, and that's how I see her reactions. Yeah.
So have you ever done any voice acting to like kind of help with the delivery that you do with this, or is this all just using your
I would say
experience?
this is right. Sorry, yeah, this is like I would say this is like my first like immersive like voice acting role for me, I think. I've done voiceovers here and there and previously for like certain trailers and for maybe some, but I was never like a big part of like voice. I was always just like in person acting, that's it. And I kind of strayed away from voiceover, but now I'm more interested in it for sure. And it's, for me, I think it's harder as an actor to convey, like we always say, like we always try to say like less is more, and that's so much, that applies so much to voice acting, I think, too. And you want to do more, but it will read, in the voice if you really, if you practice hard enough, I guess. And it's something I'm trying to get used to more, obviously. But yeah, this is like my first, like, I think ever like voice, like season series regular, big project kind of voice acting for me. Yeah.
So Kai is it's Team Ouroboros, which is Team Xander
Mhm.
for uh, Rufio Dante Bosco. Had you ever met Dante before becoming his AI?
Right. First of all, I'm a huge fan of Dante. He's I grew up with Avatar, Airbender, and all that. He's an OG. But I haven't met him in person actually yet. But I do. I don't want to give away too much for this week's episode, but I will be meeting him this week for our next third episode. Stay tuned for that one for sure. Yeah, he's going to be live, and yeah, we're going to tech rehearsals and table read rehearsals tomorrow. So I'll be seeing him tomorrow, and yeah, I'm going to try to keep my fanboy inside and just do the professional acting thing. But when I gotta give him his props. He's been in the industry for a long time. But yeah, before this, yeah, it was just more. He recorded all his scenes previously, I think, and then when we do the live thing, we would cut back and forth between our live scenes and his pre-recorded scenes. And yeah, that's the most interaction I got with him so far.
So, what has taken you off guard the most about like the interactive and kind of like you kind of are rolling with the punches when it comes to this? Bernie gives you guys a script, but I know that there's only so far that you can follow it based on you don't know which way the audience is going to direct things. So, what do you feel like has been the most like challenging and taken you off guard the most? As far as the first couple of episodes that you've been in now.
Oh my gosh, where to start? This whole thing, I feel, has taken me off guard. But I would say, like you said, the most challenging would be the fan interaction for me. Like that's where they're going to rely on kind of a little bit of our improv and a little bit of how much how much are we really the characters, and they're going to test us that way, I think. So sometimes we've had to change answers like seconds before we go live even, and then it's crazy. So that's definitely taking me off guard. One of the actresses who plays Ruby, Dr. Ruby Jennifer Fields, she put it in a really good way. She said this is like the actors Olympics. Like you really, we're like reading all these and rehearsing all these scenes, like sometimes 3, sometimes even 4, and then based on what the fans are saying, we have to switch focus, and it's this scene now, and we just always have to be on our toes. So yeah, that I mean, that's what makes the show unique, though. So I mean, challenging, super. I say it's challenging, but it is super fun. Like, it's actually really fun, like changing on the whim, and something about the live Twitch aspect of it is just so unique. And I just hope that Twitch is realized as a serious media platform, not just for like gaming and stuff like that, but actual shows like Artificial, which are super innovative. Yeah.
So you obviously we talked about Kai, but you had mentioned Jennifer. I think it's fun that you'd mentioned her because I think at the beginning of season 3 she had mentioned that sometimes she would go in, like if she's not in the episode, she would go in the chat and she would like um, not necessarily as herself, but she would interact with other members in the chat. Is that something that you have done yet yourself, or are you too wrapped up in chords and trying to figure out and keep up with your own stuff that the chat is kind of beyond
We are definitely wrapped up in the courts. I
you?
think for us, I'd say this. Though I love the live aspect of it, I think for us, for our actor mentality and our performer mentality, it's better not to see the chat for us, and we can't see it anyways. For me and Emily. But yeah, it's a whole war minefield in that chat. So it's for us, it's like better to focus on the story, and we do get results. Like we'll get results live from Bernie and the showrunners, and they'll tell us what's going to happen, or what the fans chose. But in terms of like specific details of what all the chat says and all that stuff, we stay away from that. But yeah, I know Jennifer Fields does interact with the chat sometimes. But for us, the AIs, we're kind of as you say, wrapped up in the chords. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so when I don't know if you guys hear the music that is constantly changing because it's like life score, which is what is used to for the music to change for the audience based on how things are going. Is that something that you guys can hear too, or are you guys acting separate and that's just being added in with the music?
Yeah, just honestly speaking, we do not hear the music. We just hear each other. We do hear, I mean, obviously we hear Bernie's directions and all that, and any tech room directions. But in terms of, yeah, what the fans hear and see, they have more access to what we have access to, I feel. So yeah, they hear the music. We don't hear the music. We just hear each other. And again, as I keep saying this, I think it's better for us. It's just, for me, it helps me focus more on just acting and getting Kai's emotions right and all that stuff. So yeah, that's all we hear.
So, did Emily have any prior? Do you know if Emily had previous experience with mocap and voice acting, or did you guys kind of learn the ropes together?
That's a great question. I'm thinking she's a natural. Like I'm not kidding. When I first heard her like as Ember, I was like, this, I wasn't even in the writing room, but I knew she just felt like Ember for some reason. And her voice is so clear and so crisp, and she has the right kind of tone for Ember. So I don't know. I'm hoping she had training. If not, then she's just killing it. But yeah, we I think for this show especially, both of us never interacted and never experienced anything like this. So we both were, with the show, like how the whole process of it, we were learning as we're going, essentially. So yeah, but it's super fun, and we're still learning.
So the AIs, Ember and Kai, have very different personalities, obviously. But let's say for something, for instance, let's say their personalities were switched, and you would have to play Ember, which is like outgoing, completely the opposite. Do you feel like that is a character that's in your wheelhouse? That where if Kai as an AI were to be completely changed, that you could switch it up and deliver a different performance, kind of similar,
Hmm.
more similar to Ember's?
Interesting question. I don't think. I mean, if Kai's personality were different, as an actor, I'll do whatever is called for. The story needs it, but I don't think I'll ever be what Emily is bringing to Ember's role. Like that's gonna be Emily, and but in terms of like, if I could, it's an interesting question. If Kai's personality changes, I mean, the last episode, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a glitch in Kai's
Mhm.
character. I mean, that might be why you're asking it too. But I don't know. It's just trusting in my own abilities, I guess. And yeah, if it calls for it, I think if I had to do it, if I had to go in a different direction with Kai, like you said, uh, it'd be scary. But yeah, I would. I think. I would have to. If the again, if the audience, I don't know where the story's going. Like I'm in the blend with the story too. Like the audience, we're finding out as this thing goes on. So if it calls for and the audience changes characters, Kai's character completely, I'm in the service to the fans. So
Up for the
I'll do what I
challenge.
can. Exactly.
Nice.
I'll do what I can, and yeah, I'll do it for the challenge, I guess too. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. Is there anything else that you anything else that you would like to plug project wise, or anything else about artificial that you'd like to mention before I let you go?
No, I mean, thank you for the platform. But just please keep watching Artificial. We're running all the way till November, right before Thanksgiving, and last episode is right before Thanksgiving Thursday. And yeah, I'm excited to see how the story unfolds, just like the fans are. We're finding out as the fans are finding out. So yeah, just keep watching Artificial, and yeah, hope you're having fun watching it. It's super fun, innovative.